Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety for Scottsburg, Indiana, on this 14th day of August 2023. Welcome. We'll call our meeting to order by a roll call by Clerk Treasurer Jan Harvey.
Karen Gricius. Here. Tom Lewis. Mayor Rainey.
Here. Thank you. Next, we'll take the approval of the minutes of July 24th, 2023. Are there any corrections or additions?
I approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, so is there a motion then to go? Karen makes a motion to approve the minutes. Tom Lewis seconds. Any questions? There are none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approval of sidewalk change orders. Who has this one?
I do.
Okay.
The approval of the original sidewalks, you all had a discussion about doing a separate section. You said you wanted to go over and look at it. We did go look at it. That change order amount is, to do that section, is $38,890.70. While we were over there, the section between John Dietrich's office headed west to the railroad, the curb is all broke off. So for him to redo all that curb and paint it back would be $7,680. So as you'll see on your paperwork, the contract price due to this change order will be increased. It's $46,570.70. So I'm asking the board to approve this change order to do that additional work.
I'll make that motion.
Tom Lewis makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We're saying the questions. I have a question. Was this not originally in the original bid?
It was, Mayor, but you all had discussed you wanted to go look at it first.
So that's when it was taken out?
Correct.
It was, yeah, we just approved 1 through 4, not the alternative.
Okay.
And you all, yeah, once you looked at it,
That's why I didn't see.
then that's
Yeah,
why, yeah.
Okay, all questions have been answered. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you so much. Okay, next.
Me. I have a waiver for the Mid-America Science Park. This is for Ride for a Cure, but it is separate from the actual ride that they do. They're gonna do an auction the weekend before. So they're just asking to use the garage space to set up an auction. And then the next weekend will be the ride.
So the date is for September the 10th, 2023, and that's the auction.
Yes, this will just be the auction.
Then the ride would be 7 days later, November the 17th.
And that's already been approved.
Okay.
No, it'll be the 16th.
Okay.
September 16th.
What's the hours on that?
9 to 7.
Okay, I didn't make a copy, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the waiver.
Tom Lewis makes the motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Ken Gricius seconds. Let me just check the, let's see the dates. So you're saying the 10th is on a Sunday,
Yes.
and then the actual
Ride
is on
The following
Saturday,
Mhm.
the 23rd.
The 16th.
Sorry,
So the 10th and then
16th.
the
Okay,
16th.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Is all questions answered? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Next is the,
Next is me again. I created a new waiver form for people to fill out just because we had a couple things missing on the last one. And I added in a requirement of the people to turn in their waiver at least 30 days prior to the event. So that way we have time to approve it at a meeting and then they know in advance. So I just wanted approval for this new waiver.
I'll make a motion to approve the new waiver form.
And I second.
Tom Lewis makes the motion to go forward with the edits. Karen Gricius seconds that. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Next thing is the wastewater grant contract approval brought to us by the fine folks at the wastewater treatment plant.
Good morning. Scotland's trying to go after some more grant money for slip lining and possible lift station upgrade. So we met with, Mayor and I met with Mike Kleinpeter Thursday morning, then, it's our work grant, 20% matching, so anything that we spend will be counted towards that matching grant if we did receive it.
What's this for again, for Lion what?
Slip lining and a possible upgrade on the lift station, helps overflows.
Okay.
And this is an Okra grant,
What kind?
an Okra,
Oh, correct.
yeah. And so,
Vegetable, man.
yeah, exactly, for sure. And it's, this gentleman is very knowledgeable, their company is very knowledgeable on these grants. He worked for Okra
Yeah,
and knows all the ins and outs.
So this is to do all the paperwork to fly and get the grant?
correct.
Oh,
Administer it with that curve administrative.
So what's our chances of getting the grant?
He said very likely, he scored us, and I think we scored at 500, and I think we need to be at a 510, but that's still without any engineering yet to be done, so
Okay,
we felt pretty confident.
okay.
And the
So
grant,
if we didn't get the grant, we need to do this anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
we're under an agreed order. Though we're off the sewer ban, we're under an agreed order that we continue to line. We've lined right at 20,000, am I correct if I say 20,000? 20,000 linear feet of 8-inch sewer line that's 80 years old and older. And if you've not seen the process, it's an amazing process. So instead of digging everything up and costing 10 times that amount, we're able to line it, use new technology. And this little robot goes in a manhole, crawls 300 feet down that manhole, brings a wire, then they blow this tube down there, they inflate that tube, and it puts everything back up into place. Then it has a circular application, and it goes and lines all of that. And then they'll either cure it out with steam or ultraviolet light.
So what is it lined with, concrete or?
No, it's all a plastic polymer. We saw this.
Cool.
We saw this. Chiefs and I went down to see this in New Albany. They bought their own equipment, it was $1 million. And they've been lining for, at that point, 7 years. They've been lining now for going on 11 years. They had a piece, you can drive right over it. It doesn't hurt anything. It's guaranteed for 50 years, but they said it'll last. So this is great technology. It costs us about $32, $35 a foot,
38.
$38 a foot. So
So we hired them.
we subcontracted all that. So all the lining you've seen going forward, what's the name of that company?
Robinson.
Robinson, I'm just tired of this one. They've done that. Emily and I were out videoing some of that, and I don't know if that's ever made it onto our website or not yet, but it's an interesting process. It's a great process. Well, we're still under an agreed order to continue the lining, and we're not going to see it so much on the west side of I-65 because that's all newer and plastic pipe, but where this is at is all on the older sections of Scottsburg.
Yeah.
So, and this we're applying for $7 million grant.
Great.
Yeah, so.
So we need approval to agree to these contracts, 2 contracts?
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Just
two.
some-
There's two. Yep.
Vote on all at the same time.
That would be lovely.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve both of these contracts.
And I second.
With a motion to go forward by Tom Lewis, and second by Karen Grishas. And this is a grant that you have to go through a lot of hoops. There's a lot of hoops, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it. We received, so far we've received a little over $12 million in grants. The city's received that in my tenure here. So with that, we've paved roads and everything else like this. So this is another way that we can try to continue going forward. So, any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hurd. The next thing is move assets number 360 from sewer to park. Request Parks Department to apply Or new VIN numbers, what's this?
That's me, Mayor. There is a trailer that Jerry would like to use at the Parks Department, and it now sits at the sewer plant. And here is the pictures. So we need to move that for
Give it to
the,
the street department, I don't,
it's where?
I think street department, I don't have that trailer.
It's
Oh.
at the street. It's at the
Yeah,
street
it
department.
was
Okay.
sitting at the street.
I need to see
Okay.
what trailer it is. What trailer is it?
All they have it is as asset, all Marita has it is as asset number 368. It's not even readable as far as the VIN.
Is it just trying to show the VIN?
They have to have a VIN for the clerk treasurer's office
Trailer.
records.
Put it on the assets.
It's trailer sitting out street department there for years.
No one really knows
Is
where,
that the trailer we recovered?
no.
No, and this
No.
is one, we've tried to track it through assets and we can't find that we have it anywhere. We figure the closest is something Chase had on his, that's 368. Is that kind of, did you have it first or do you know?
That's what, well, it's been sitting down for years, they've grabbed it, never seen it since.
We have an old trailer down at that trailer. I mean, I know where it sits. So it's the oldest one?
We just know that Jerry wants to use it, and they want to put the assets, they're working on the assets right
Trying
now.
to
So
clean
they're
that
trying to
up.
get the assets correct.
Okay.
Had Jerry not have requested it, it would have still been under Chase's because this is the only one we can connect it to.
I'm gonna
But
have,
we can't.
But are
confirm
you
it.
saying it's under street, Chase?
It's at the street department.
Oh,
It's
okay,
there
but it is
physically.
still
It was
under
on the
sewer.
sewer assets.
Okay.
Yes.
we've had that fiasco already. Trying to hunt something down.
But
So-
if they can put it on the correct asset list,
Yes.
and then you can go down and look at it. But
Okay,
I
that's
do
fine,
want,
yes.
I do want him to apply for a new VIN number.
Absolutely. And,
So Jan, would you need the board to approve that move?
To move it.
and I need to talk to
Put
you
it on
about
first.
the VIN number too.
You talked to me about it.
I think Emily's on that.
Yeah,
Emily's
I have the
gonna take care of
application.
it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so on item E on this, I need a motion to move asset number 368 from sewer to parks.
I'll make that motion.
Tom Lewis makes the motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Karen Gracious. I don't think there's any questions. If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next we have is declare excess of mayor's inventory.
Why don't you do F, G, and H as one motion?
Okay,
Declare excess of animal shelter
Well,
inventory.
that.
Declare excess of
Okay,
broadband.
or-
that's fine with me. Do you want me to read you what they are separately?
Yes.
Jan,
Oh, okay, so you've got.
do you want to know for your minutes what they are?
Yeah, we'll need copies of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the mayor's office, for their assets, there are two, there's a 2017 Dodge Charger, and the last four of the VIN number is 7083. And there is a 2018 Dodge Charger, and the last four of that VIN is 0685. Those two we would like to put as excess to put in an auction. Then for the animal shelter, there is a 2009 Chevy Silverado with the last four being 6748, asset number 1129. And then for broadband, there is a 2003 Dodge Ram, last four being 9254, asset number 129, and a 2003 Chevy Trailblazer, last four being 6467, asset number 705. And we would like all those to be excess so they can go into an auction.
What was it, Dodge Ram year?
2003.
So they're both 2003 Dodge and 2003 Chevrolet.
No, the Chevy,
For broadband.
oh yeah, for broadband, yeah,
That's what I was talking about.
yeah,
The Chevrolet truck was a 2009 Silverado.
yeah.
They say 1,500, 2,500, 3,500,
1,500.
1,500, half ton. So we have a motion before us. Now let me explain this too. I want to make sure that we can set minimum bids. So I want to make sure that I'm not just going to sell these. I want to get the value for them. So legal counsel, can we do that?
Yeah, through the auction site, you can dictate all the terms.
Okay, good enough, fair enough. So do we have a motion then to go
So
forward?
who's gonna set it?
That was great, let's do this, what I was thinking.
You?
Well, I mean, we need to probably have some mechanism in place so we can find out what it is. We need to find out what the values of these are,
You know, somebody needs to do this.
especially the police cars.
Kelly's Blue Book.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I think that,
I have varying values in there, depending on the condition. Somebody needs to assess it and say,
Yeah.
it's good or it's
Or
poor.
I'm not good, right?
And this is the minimum bid we want, so.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm all for it, I just,
I mean, I don't think it's a thing on those police cars. So, unless you're knowledgeable of something, chief,
Your mechanically, they should be fine.
yeah.
would, when we had a city mechanic guy, would he be the appropriate
No.
person to do that?
No.
No, we don't have that.
No. He wouldn't know, he would not know values. Again, to Karen's position or Josh's position, I think we need to look it up on a professional to find that out. Because I need to know what the values of those vehicles are.
Yeah, my point is, who's gonna do that?
I mean, it's probably, the onus should probably fall on the mayor's office. So we will,
So the motion is to approve the equipment declaration of access for auction, and the mayor's office will determine the minimum bid.
yes, yes.
I'll make that motion.
You okay with that, Josh?
Yeah, I determine the price based on commercially available appraisal service or.
Just as he said.
Yeah. I don't think that the broadband at 2003, they're 20 years old. So that's not going to be very large there, but that 2009 Chevrolet. So I'll want to see what it is. I want to see what the two police chargers are. So,
Josh, would you call that mayor's office to determine the commercial?
Commercially available appraisal amount.
good job.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a motion to
Make the motion.
So Tom Lewis makes a motion, seconded
Second.
by Karen Gracious. Are there any questions about this? I guess we already did that. So guys, I guess we've answered our questions now, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you very much. Next thing is confirmation of a safety officer for unsafe building ordinance enforcement. What's this about?
Josh.
Josh?
So within the unsafe building ordinance, it identifies that the person to administer that, the first step is the safety officer. Per our handbook and salary ordinance, I don't see that we have a specific person identified as the safety officer. It makes sense that that be code enforcement, that would be basically writing up those orders and then coming to this board for further enforcement. So I was asking for a motion just to confirm that the safety officer for unsafe building enforcement is the code safety officer, or code enforcement officer.
And we do need this. We need this.
Yeah, that's good. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Tom Lewis makes a motion to confirm that the safety officer's unsafe building ordinance enforcement be the code enforcement officer. And is, so,
Maybe he's doing what I think.
well, I think it went between either, is it our chief fire? Because he was the safety.
No, we talked about that and looked at the salary ordinance, and it's not that. It also wouldn't make sense for him to be that person.
Then we talked about the building inspector. then we also, so these were the three here. So we looked on building inspector, code enforcement, safety officer. I think then it's code enforcement.
Yeah, good, fine.
Okay. So with the code, so changing from, so unsafe building ordinance enforcement, identifying the safety officer as the code enforcement officer. Is your motion to go forward with that?
I'll make that.
Tom Lewis does that, is there a second?
Second.
Karen Bush, seconds. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous on that. Thank you so very much. We need that, thank you. Flex sign waiver on broadband technology.
This is me. If we can do both of them together.
Flex time waiver on utility office.
So as we did in the last meeting, Jill and myself, got the approval to use our overtime since we are salary in another week, since we couldn't use it for Mayberry within that week, since it was at the end of our pay period. So we would like to do the same for Stacy and Melina, because they both worked over 100 hours while implementing this last week. So we want them to be able to use that extra time whenever they can.
Make that motion.
Tom,
I'll second.
Tom Lewis makes a motion, Karen Bush seconds that for flex time waiver on broadband utility office. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you. Next thing we have is a new hire in IT. Who has this one?
That's me too. We have a new hire for the IT assistant. His name is Kevin Creasy. I just need an approval for him to be hired. His start date will be the 28th of this month.
Is there a phone allowance for that too?
Yes,
How
Thank
much?
there's a phone stipend. I think it's $100.
$100.
Who does he report to?
Stacy.
Stacy.
Mhm.
Actually, that's under me, isn't it?
No, it's Stacy.
No.
How do you spell the last name? What was it?
Creasy.
She's,
I'm good.
Donnie Gooden was under me, and so was,
Budgetary, Mayor, budgetary, he's under you, but he reports for daily duties
yeah,
to
he's
Stacy.
gonna report to her, but,
So,
yeah,
He's under our
I
budget.
start, Donnie is the IT.
Donnie was the IT guy, and
He's no longer.
he's no longer.
No, I didn't know that.
So,
Where'd he go?
started his own company.
Did he?
Company's dad, Anthony Gooden's trucking out there, and then, started his own company.
No,
So,
So who's, Stacy's and then the IT person?
Stacy kind of oversees the entire IT, fiber optic broadband for the entire city. But basically, technically, he's under the mayor's office. And that IT specifically is supposed to be here, but the problem is, we need him everywhere. So we're having, like Mid-America Science Park, we'll send him out there. So,
Police department uses them a lot.
police department uses, so,
So there's an environment kind of replacing Donnie?
This is, yeah,
Yes.
there's the position open. This is basically, at one time, it was created to take care of City Hall and the issues we had here.
Okay.
So that's basically, yeah.
and this is a gentleman from Alabama. Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, yeah, exactly. Roll Tide, that's exactly right.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the hire.
Tom Lewis makes a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Tricia seconds that. Any questions about Kevin? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Next, we have our clerk treasurer claim approval.
I would just be open for a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll make a motion. Approve the claims as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Richard makes the motion, Tom Lewis seconds. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Next, we go to our wondrous utility office. Superintendent, of the board, and letting us know how give us an update after, is this the second week on, no, first week, it's first week.
No, it's 2
Second,
weeks.
2 weeks.
Today's
We
the
completed
14th.
our first week. We have completed our
That's all right.
first week.
So how did the first week go? Wait till-
Very good. We are progressing well. People are able to use Smart Hub and we have positive feedback from that. The customers seem very happy with being able to go online and pay bills and view their bill. Everything is going pretty good, actually. We had I think we've got our balancing between our office and the clerk's office pretty well straightened out.
We're, yeah, and it's gone well, with Tish and Melina both working on that.
Okay,
And the real positive is, where Melina had worked in our office, so she understands what we need, and so it's helping her get the vision of what needs to be done on our end.
okay.
And we've
We still have some things that will be implemented going forward, which is budget billing. People will be able to get on a budget billing cycle. That will not be implemented until a little bit later. I think our go live for that is set for April of 2024. You have to get a good average before you can put people on a budget, so that's why they ask for those 3 months. That 3 month time. The first bill will go out, and the first billing will go out September 1st through NISC. So just be patient with this. If you see something that doesn't look right to you, just give us a call and we'll work through it. Like I said, that's going to be a big hurdle for us, is to get through that first billing. So
And everyone is up to date now, is that correct?
up to date as in.
In other words, I didn't realize that we were billing 2 months behind. So right now, everything's up to date.
Just 1 month now, yeah. Yeah, that's over, the catch-up is over for that, we're 1 month. The billing cycle for September 1 is, just 1 month behind now, rather than 2.
Was it good to have them here to help you?
Yes.
Are they
yes.
still here or not?
No, they were just here for 3 days, but it was nice having them here, yes. And they're still available to all of our needs through different kinds of, we use the team, what's it called? Sorry. Team viewer, so that we can get on and they can help us with any issues.
So they can see what you're seeing,
Yes,
no matter where that you're at.
yeah.
Now, I'm glad to know, because I have had several questions at the mayor's office regarding budget billing. So,
Yes.
you're saying April, but then you said 3 months. So I'm
Well,
confused.
it takes January, February, and March is the months that they're going to, for the calendar year, those months will give us the opportunity to put people on a budget based on that month's usage.
So basically, right now, we're in the third quarter. So basically, you're wanting to get through the third and fourth quarter of 23, and then so,
And then we'll do, budget billing will be on the averages of the first quarter of the year.
okay.
And then that'll be, so around April, we'll be able to implement the budget billing. So I'm planning some dates now that maybe setting up like a workshop for people that may not be as user-friendly with their mobile device or internet, to look at if they want to set up a Smart Hub account. So we'll get those dates out to people here soon.
Also, Marty, you need to know this too. We have basically free computer training at the Mid-America Science Park that goes with this as well. So we can get you the dates on that, because we want to try to assist our residents in this. We'd like to become more computer savvy, let's put it that way. Anything else? No, anything else for you?
No.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, Jim, go ahead.
I don't know that we've mentioned this in a meeting, but I think it's been on our Facebook page about the recycling center being opened down by the transfer station. Have we mentioned, if we haven't mentioned that in a meeting, I think it would be nice to everybody to help get the word out there that this is being done. It's set up very nice. You just pull up, empty your, you do have to separate your recyclables, but I've been using it, and I think it's really set up nice, and I think even people, I think he's leaving it open a little after hour. It's open 24/7 basically,
24/7.
so if people were complaining at first, I saw that they couldn't use it after hours if they worked, but because of the type of things that are in there, it's nothing that can be harmed. It's not like city equipment is available, for them to get to. So I think we need to really work at getting that word out, and maybe more of those people who'd like to recycle will do that.
It's located on South 4th Street. And that's located where the old high school, probably not even where that is.
Bander.
Yeah, the Bander back behind
Yeah,
there.
where
It's-
they
It's
themselves.
behind the gymnasium, Meyer Gymnasium. So if you turn right off of Highway 56, there's one building there. As soon as you pass that building, the city has a building there. On the very top of the door says Scottsburg Recycle Center. And the doors are left open, and inside there are Gaylord boxes. And it's a square box that is probably the width of this table, square in length and depth. And you have pictures. So this is where your paper goes, this is where your cardboard goes, this is where your plastic bottles go, your aluminum, your glass, everything you recycle is there. The only thing that we're not taking at this point is electronic recycling. Now, we're working on that with the Southern Indiana Solid Waste District for a Gaylord box or electronics as well. So that's coming, but right now, basically, most everything you have to recycle, you can just drop off there. It's a 24/7 drop off. When we do, we are asking you to recycle. Please do not put trash there. That's going to be the only reason that we would shut that down, is you just dropping trash off. So, but just recycle. So if you're a recycler, come on down.
Yes.
That's good, thank you, Jan. Because
Well, I've been using it, and I've tried to tell some of my older friends that might be interested.
we have a question from our illustrious.
Does anyone have a list of what will be accepted there?
Yeah, I can get you one.
And it's on Facebook.
Can they pick that up at the utility office?
Sure.
So should they be calling the utility office if they have a question about what can be?
Sure.
And I think it's already
Either
posted, it's already posted down there as well, I think.
Yeah, it's
It's
posted, and there's
basically
little
everything but
pamphlets.
electronics.
I know. And we actually have it written over each box, and there's also pictures.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Sure as heck.
Get the visual.
Picture, visual, it's just like going to the restaurant, and we sell more hamburgers because we have a hamburger in the picture. There's a little truth to that. And, so what else? Chief, you're up next.
We got Chris Bowen, got him a uniform now. He's riding around with the other officers, learning the streets, paperwork, all that.
Was that Mr. Bully just came in here? Okay.
And then we got Sean Robinson, which is, we just started him last week. He's gonna get into these 40-hour pre-basic. We gotta sign him up for the academy because he's not doing, and get him some uniforms this week, get him started.
Okay, so Mr. Bully's already on the road?
Yes, he's on the road riding around the car by himself, but he's with other officers and, when he responds to calls and all that until he gets hanging how everything's done.
Right. And you still have one open?
Yes, for Scott Jellers, and we'll, probably in the next few weeks, we'll try another process for that. We've got a couple from the old process. We'd like to get more applicants to see, where we're at. That's it.
Thank you for having your officers patrol every street of Scottsburg every day. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much.
Get them out there to
Amen. Amen. Council,
I have nothing.
really? It's always a joy to have you here, though.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.